Alright, I'm going to show you how to remove the cover of the radiator for the Model X, just for the 2016. I'm assuming it's for the 2016 all the way up to the 2020, I believe, for this type of model. I could be wrong, but I'm going to show you how to do it. So basically you got to remove, obviously, the tub right there. Also the carpet that goes in the tub, you got to remove that as well. Also the surrounding cover for the front as well. As you see here, there's a tape right there. Well, what I did is I pretty much cut the cover, which just covers the radiator from this point all the way through this point. I got some comments on Facebook saying how do you cut the plastic shroud without cutting the radiator? And that's pretty simple. What I did is once I removed this filter, which exposes the underneath, which, hold on, I'm gonna get that for you. Okay, I'm back here. So what I did, I removed the fan shroud, or the HEPA filter, the guy right there. Removed it. It's not bolted on whatsoever. It's kind of slid in here like a sleeve. So anyways, back to the radiator. So yeah, basically I cut the radiator from this point to that point, and I got some comments on the Facebook saying that how do you cut the radiator or the shroud without cutting the radiator? And what I did is I use your tabs right behind here. Remove the tabs. If you can see them right there. See, there's a tab there, a tab there, a tab there. So I'll loosen all those tabs up, lift this up, and I shove a plywood goes between the shroud and the radiator. And from that point, then I can use my vibrating saw to cut the fan shroud. And when it's gonna go all the way down to the bottom of the radiator, the plywood I put underneath the fan shroud, or the shroud of the radiator. I put plywood underneath it, which protects the radiator, so I can keep on going and hit the wood without cutting the radiator. So that's what I did. Okay, so I'm making multiple videos here. So let's just show you. I just opened up the tabs using a little pick, go between the little sections here, pops it out, and you basically lift this up like a book. And it's already pre-cut, so I already cutted it. This plastic shroud is taped up with a very, very strong adhesive tape they use on AC. It's pretty much like aluminum or some type of aluminum tape they use for air conditioning, for duct work. Very sticky, very strong, and pretty much it's yeah, there's no way this will fly right off. So anyway, so I cut this out, and hold on, I'll show you. All right, back here again. So what I did, I opened up the tape again, pop the clips. This whole thing flips right out, like so. And you will see the cuts I did. So pretty much I made the cut right along with the contour of this plastic shroud here. And you see like that. So, and this radiator is clean, but before that, I mean, it was really dirty. A lot of debris, a lot of leaves. Got into this first radiator here. So yeah, so in order to lift this radiator up, it's kind of like a book. So there's no screws holding this radiator. I mean, again, this is a 2016 Model X, so there's no screws holding this radiator. It's basically held by a rubber clip down the bottom. Bottom's kind of like a little foot down there. It kind of hits in there like a little foot, another foot down there. And these are just clips. You know, all you do, you just pulls up like that. Pulls up like that, like so. And this thing flips up like a book. See? Lift this up. You move this forward, and this thing flips up like a book. Hoses are very flexible, so don't worry about it. It just folds up like that, and voila. Still some little debris in there, but believe me, it was really, really dirty before. So a little bit of rocks in there. I probably could use a comb to remove it, but believe me, this used to be very clean, and this is like what, about not even a couple of days of driving and still getting stuff come back here again. So, and that's it. Pretty much I use coil cleaning, spray it on, let it dwell for 15 minutes, hose it off really strong, both sides. Recommend get some type of brush to remove any large debris, or a shop vac with a brush on it. That will definitely help out. And this radiator looks really clean as well. So coil clean, let it dwell for 15 minutes, and then rinse it out with the gardening hose. And you'll see a lot of muck and crap coming out of your radiator. And it will go straight down to the floor, so there's nothing hurting it. So you can pretty much wash inside here. It's pretty much waterproof, all connections, so you'll be fine. If any questions, let me know. And it's going to be my annual cleaning from now on. So since I made it easier to access it, since I cut the shroud, and then just going to retape it up with a very strong adhesive, again with a special tape they use on the ductwork for the air conditioning. If we don't want to cut the shroud, and you want to do the old school way, the old long way, you have to remove these bolts, remove those bolts, that bolt, that bolt, that bolt, and this whole front end comes right off, and then you have access to the shroud. So yeah, it's just too much work. And obviously you gotta disconnect the trunk, I call it the trunk mechanism there. You gotta disconnect that as well. So yeah, I did the shortcut way, and believe me, the tape is strong, so don't worry about it. And besides, you have the front goes on top of the shroud, which holds in place. So all right, wish you guys luck. I forgot to add to the video the tool I use to cut the shroud, and this is the tool I use. This is a DeWalt XR, DeWalt 20 volt vibrating saw. Works really, really well to cut the shroud with. Pretty simple. And the coil cleaning I use from the Home Depot, pay like $7 a can. I use 2 cans, 1 can for the AC condenser and 1 can for the motor battery pack radiator as well. So 2 cans, 1 can for each radiator, and let it dwell for 15 minutes and rinse it out. Alright guys, good luck. Also for my future video, it came in the mail, I'm going to replace the upper control arm for my Model X 2016. Very, very notorious of making those weird creaky noises when you go left and right on the steering wheel. Also when you hit bumps, it hears that creak noise. Definitely the upper control arm was making a lot of noise. I'm also going to replace the sway bar links as well. This vehicle has over 115,000 miles on it, so it's definitely time for a replacement. I'm assuming these are original parts from my car, so it definitely needs some changing. And at the same time, I'll be checking the lower control arm as well to see if there's any cracking in the bushings. If so, then I'll probably make another video of that, how to replace that as well. Stay tuned, and we'll go from that point.